The atmosphere on The View was already tense before the cameras even rolled. Teddy Swims, the soulful, bearded singer, known for his raw vocals and emotional covers, had been invited for what was supposed to be a light-hearted interview and performance. But things took a sharp turn when co-host Joy Behar veered off script and began questioning Teddy about his appearance and theatrics in modern music. "You ever think the whole look, the tattoos, the beard, the glasses, just a gimmick?" she asked, her tone wrapped in sarcasm. Teddy chuckled nervously at first, thinking she was joking, but when Joy doubled down, adding, "I mean, real music shouldn't need a costume, right?" The room chilled, the audience's laughter faded into a stunned silence. Co-hosts Sunny Hostin and Sarah N. exchanged uneasy glances as Teddy shifted uncomfortably in his seat. Asterisk, trying to stay composed, Teddy responded, "This isn't a costume. This is who I am. My music is about honesty and pain, and so is my look." But Joy wasn't done. Sure, she said with a dismissive wave. "But come on, half the audience listens with their eyes these days. Don't you think you're selling an image more than emotion?" Teddy blinked in disbelief. The man known for bringing listeners to tears with his performances was being accused of manufacturing emotion. The live audience, which had until now been engaged and smiling, began murmuring. A few boos could be heard as Joy tried to pivot with a chuckle. "Just asking the hard questions." She shrugged, but the damage was done. Teddy leaned forward, gripping the edge of his chair as his smile completely vanished. Asterisk then, with calm intensity, Teddy said, "You can question my talent, you can question my songs, but don't question my truth. You don't know what I've been through to get here." He looked directly at Joy, the pain in his voice unmistakable. The room went silent again. Even Whoopi Goldberg, normally quick to intervene, remained quiet watching the confrontation unfold. Joy smirked and replied, "Well, maybe if we all had sad songs and a TikTok following, we'd be stars too." That line crossed the final line. Teddy stood up slowly and said into his mic, "I thought this was about the music. I'm not here to be mocked." The camera crew didn't know whether to cut or roll with it. Joy tried to laugh it off again, saying, "Don't be so sensitive, Teddy." But Teddy had already pulled off his mic. Asterisk, respect is a two-way street, Teddy said as he walked toward the backstage curtain. "I give it. I expect it back." The audience gave a mixed reaction. Some gasped, others applauded. Co-host Anna Navarro leaned into her mic, whispering, "This isn't how today was supposed to go." Producers scrambled behind the scenes, while Whoopi quickly went to commercial. But by then, the damage was irreversible. Twitter was already exploding. The hashtag justice for Teddy trended within 30 minutes. Fans posted clips of the tense exchange, highlighting Joy's snide remarks and Teddy's walk-off. "Imagine inviting a man for his soul, then mocking his skin," one fan wrote. Others called for Joy Behar to be suspended, citing repeated instances where she'd crossed lines with guests. Asterisk, backstage, Teddy sat in silence for several minutes, declining water and waving off assistants. "I just wanted to sing," he said quietly to his manager. "Just let the music speak." His team encouraged him to calm down and not post anything rash, but it was too late. He already had. Teddy uploaded a 30-second video on Instagram, shot from his phone, saying, "Hey y'all, I know you saw what happened. I don't play games with my truth. Love and respect should always come first, no matter the platform." It went viral instantly. Celebrities and fellow musicians jumped. In defending Teddy, Kelly Clarkson reposted the video with the caption, "Keep shining, bro. They can't dim the real ones." Even Pink and John Mayer posted supportive messages. Asterisk, meanwhile, The View scrambled into crisis mode. Joy Behar, never one to back down, reportedly refused to apologize during post-show discussions, saying, "I ask tough questions. That's my job." But her co-hosts weren't as forgiving. According to a staffer, Sunny Hostin told producers, "We just lost an incredible guest because Joy wanted to be clever." Whoopi allegedly pulled Joy aside and said, "This isn't comedy hour. People came here to connect, not be insulted." ABC executives launched an internal review, with some insiders suggesting Joy may be temporarily suspended or forced to issue a public apology. But Joy, as usual, remained defiant, telling one producer, "Off camera, he'll be fine. This will only boost his sales." Asterisk, she wasn't wrong. Teddy's Spotify streams reportedly jumped 47% within 24 hours of the incident. His single Lose Control hit #1 on iTunes again, and pre-orders for his tours skyrocketed. Yet Teddy remained quiet, refusing further interviews and declining late-night talk show invites. "I don't want to be a viral moment," he told Rolling Stone in a text. "I want to be an artist." But the media wasn't letting go. TMZ ran a headline reading, "Teddy Swims leaves The View in tears." Sources say almost meanwhile memes flooded the internet with captions like, "Don't poke the bear, D," and "Joy just lost her chill." Joy Behar herself became the target of major online backlash, asterisk, within days. ABC was reportedly considering a live sit-down with Teddy and Joy to mend fences, but Teddy's team declined. "There's no fixing what was never built," his rep said. "We're focused on the fans, not the drama." Still, Sharon Osbourne weighed in during a podcast, saying, "Teddy handled that with more class than most of us would have." Even conservative hosts like Tucker Carlson commented, calling Joy a relic from daytime's dark ages. Joy, feeling the heat, issued a lukewarm statement via her publicist. "I regret that Mr. Swims felt disrespected. That was never the intent, but fans weren't buying it." The comment sections lit up with responses like "too little, too late, and he deserved better." The aftermath of the on-air confrontation didn't die down, it intensified. For the next 2 days, daytime and late-night shows dissected the incident like it was Watergate. Clips of Joy Behar's comments were analyzed frame by frame, slowed down, recaptioned, and remixed into one clip showing Teddy's hurt expression just before standing up was captioned. The exact moment his heart broke, and had over 6 million views by midnight. Fans shared stories about how his music helped them through depression, divorce, and even cancer recovery. One woman wrote, "Teddy saved my life. Watching Joy mock him like that felt personal." The public wasn't letting go on. ABC executives knew it. There were crisis meetings behind closed doors. Senior producers discussed whether it was time to finally rein in Joy's unscripted zingers that had gotten the show in trouble before. Asterisk, meanwhile, Teddy Swims remained silent. He canceled his next 2 scheduled appearances on other networks and declined all press requests. Fans began speculating that he was emotionally devastated and reconsidering his media presence altogether. But then, on the 3rd day, he posted again, this time a full-length video. He sat in his home studio, surrounded by guitars and candles, his voice calm but firm. "Hey, family," he began. "I didn't come on The View for clout. I came because I believe in connecting through music. I wasn't there to argue or defend how I look or why I do what I do. I was there because my music is healing, and someone tried to make it a joke, then he paused. I walked off because I knew if I stayed, I would have said something I'd regret. That's growth." The video received over 12 million views. In less than 24 hours, comments poured in from fans, celebrities, and even therapists praising his emotional maturity. One day later, something no one expected happened. Whoopi Goldberg contacted Teddy privately and apologized on behalf of the show. "You were wronged, and I want you to know I see it," she reportedly said in a heartfelt voicemail. Sources close to Teddy say he was deeply moved by Whoopi's gesture and respected her for stepping up when others stayed silent. Soon after, ABC reached out to his team with a proposal, a return appearance on The View, this time without Joy Behar on the panel. They wanted him to perform and speak on his own terms. At first, Teddy declined, but after reflection, he posted a cryptic message on Instagram. "Healing doesn't mean avoiding. Sometimes it means facing it head-on." Fans speculated, was he going back? Asterisk, indeed, 5 days after the original clash, Teddy walked back into the View studio, but this time the tone was completely different. Joy Behar was noticeably absent, reportedly placed on a temporary hiatus to reflect and reset. Whoopi introduced Teddy with a warmth and respect not often seen on the show. The last time he was here, things didn't go as planned. But today, he's here on his terms to remind us what real heart sounds like. Teddy entered to thunderous applause. He didn't speak at first. Instead, he walked to center stage and delivered a stripped-down acoustic version of his hit, "Lose Control," eyes closed, voice trembling with emotion. By the end, the audience was on their feet. Even the camera crew stood. It was more than a performance, it was a reclaiming. Afterward, he sat down with Whoopi and Sarah N. for a brief but poignant conversation. Whoopi started by saying, "You were wronged, and we're grateful you gave us a second chance." Teddy nodded, saying, "We all make mistakes, but when someone owns it, that's when healing can start." The discussion turned to empathy, mental health, and the importance of respect both in music and in media. Teddy spoke softly but powerfully about his childhood, how music was his way of surviving, and why it hurt so deeply to have that journey minimized on national television. He ended by saying, "If you strip away the beard, the tattoos, the glasses, what's left is a man trying to be seen. And that's what every artist wants." The audience wept and applauded in equal measure. Asterisk, meanwhile, Joy Behar's silence was deafening. Despite multiple requests for an interview or apology, she remained off the air. Rumors swirled that ABC was negotiating her permanent exit, though insiders claimed it would more likely be a rebranding effort. Meghan McCain, Joy's former co-host and frequent rival, weighed in on Twitter. Joy's mouth finally caught up to her ego. Teddy Swims deserved better. The comment set off a new round of debates online, with some defending Joy as brutally honest and others calling her outdated and mean-spirited. Meanwhile, fans continued posting covers of Teddy's music in support. One viral video showed a children's choir singing simple things with the caption, "He gave us soul, we give him love." Asterisk backstage. After the show, Teddy reportedly hugged every crew member. "You guys kept it real," he said. "Thanks for not judging me by the headlines." The vibe was entirely different from his first appearance. Even the security guards clapped him on the back. "You made that room feel something again," one of them said. Before leaving, Teddy signed a guitar that now hangs in the green room with a note. "Music is the truth that doesn't yell, it sings." Producers offered him a recurring segment to spotlight underrepresented artists, but he declined politely. "Let's keep this moment pure," he said. "No marketing, just meaning." On the way out, he paused in the hallway, looked around and said, "Guess it wasn't about walking off, it was about walking back in." Asterisk later that week, The View ran a pre-recorded segment where Joy Behar addressed the controversy. She looked directly into the camera and said, "I've been in this business a long time, and sometimes that means you stop listening." To Teddy, and to anyone who felt disrespected, I hear you now. Though many fans felt it was scripted and lacked sincerity, others said it was at least a step forward. Teddy didn't respond publicly. Instead, he posted a photo of a handwritten lyric sheet with the caption, "Sometimes healing isn't loud, it's steady." That post was shared over 80,000 times, with fans writing, "We hear you, Teddy, loud and clear."